All right, what's up, y'all? Jason Earl here from the Marinade and Marinade Media. Testing out my new camera, my new webcam, and then also got some things that are on my mind. I figured I'd hop on here and talk about. Just kind of testing a new setup. I see my first impression of myself in this frame is that I need to be more purposeful about my background. I'm learning as we go along with these live streams, and I'll get to work on that for sure. But in the meantime, enjoy my shoes and guitars, the towels peeking out of the wardrobe back there, and this blank wall. But we'll get to that at some point. Baby steps. Today, I am finished with the first portion of my day. So it's 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. My day these days, since I quit my job about 3 weeks ago today, actually, not an easy decision, but one that I'm really proud of and I'm happy with. My day has consisted of getting up, working out, eating my breakfast, and then showering, shaving, all that, and then searching for jobs. So that's been my day to day for the mornings all week. So I spent 2 weeks just kind of not doing much, relaxing, fucking off, and then the last week has been very structured. Right. Getting up with the sun, going through my morning routine, stopping to have lunch about midday. After lunch, then shifting to creative work. Today, I have worked so hard on the job thing all week that I was like, all right, don't burn yourself out on job searching. So I did apply for a couple of jobs this morning, jobs that I know I'm qualified for, that would be nice to go ahead and get that interview going so that I kind of have the momentum and I can start making some decisions, because I'm enjoying this time, but I'm also ready for a paycheck. So, or at least the stability of knowing I have a job, right? So I'm fortunate that I can afford to take a little bit of time, and I have health insurance through the end of the summer, which is huge. It's so bizarre that we have to worry about that in such a prosperous country, but it's true. And I'm fortunate that I'm covered. So there's less urgency now than maybe some job searches that I've had in the past. And I'm really going to try to find the right position for me. But in the meantime, I'd like to just get that ball rolling. So that's been my goal this week. Get the ball rolling. Next week, a little bit more targeted. Not that it hasn't been targeted. Any of the jobs that I applied for, I'd be happy to take. But I also kind of want to shoot for the fence next week. So that's been my approach, is get the sure thing that you can dig, and then start to shoot for the fences and try to find something that maybe in the past I wouldn't have looked at because of circumstances. But right now I'm just in a spot where financially I can afford to take just a little bit of time. I don't have anybody else in my life. It's just me. I'm single. I don't have anybody to worry about in terms of being accountable to. I'm only accountable to myself right now. And that's a pretty good feeling. So I'm going to take advantage of it. And what I've been doing as a result is the second half of the day, usually at noon, but today I'm starting early, as I said, I start thinking about creative work. And something that I talk about, if you've never listened to the Marinade with Jason Earl podcast, my podcast, something that I think about a lot and talk about a lot is the idea of creative capital. And, I have a lot of irons in the fire at any given time. I'm going to invite some folks to join us here. This is what I'm doing. If you're wondering what's he building in there, I'm going to go ahead and put this out on socials. But I think if I think about my creative work, right? I write, I do show reviews and essays and all kinds of stuff that I find interesting. I started a Patreon exclusive series earlier this week where I'm writing essays basically about things like creative capital, right? So I wrote one on walking and the importance of walking to my creative process. I wrote one about substance use. I've talked on the last live about how I haven't been drinking and just thinking through substance use quite a bit. um, and like how it not only affects me and my creative process, but the impact that it's had on other people that I know. And it's been like a pretty fruitful reflection lately, um, that has led to me processing the idea of creative capital. So when I say creative capital, that might be a term that's new to you. What I mean by creative capital is the idea that like we only have so much energy, right? And each of us has a different battery, and that battery is impacted by a number of different things: sleep, eating, if you're an introvert or extrovert, how much you're exchanging energy with other people. And I'm kind of weirdly in between. Like I'm an introverted extrovert, I think. Like I like being around other people, but at the same time, I often like to be by myself around other people because I get my energy from other folks. But when I'm socially interacting, although I love it, it does drain me. For example, I made the decision the other day. I went to the Orlando Magic game on Tuesday with my dear friend Jen Ross. And then on Wednesday, I got invited to see Ross Paget, the wonderful comedian in town here in Orlando. Check out Ross's work. It's Ross spelled like sauce, but with an R. Um, Ross and I are starting to get to know each other a little bit. We keep running into each other and have mutual friends and have hit it off quite a bit. And he was doing a show on Wednesday, but I knew that I was probably going to go see Jordan Foley and Tommy Prine play in Sanford, Florida, which is about a 30-minute drive from where I live. It's 20 some miles, but this be Orlando and Florida traffic. Y'all stay where you are. Okay. We don't need any more. It sucks here. It sucks here. Don't come. Um, sick of y'all moving here. I love you, but it's getting crazy. I mean, so many people have moved here and I don't totally get it. I mean, I love living here, but I also like, I don't know why everybody's flocking here. Suddenly, it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. This is one of the, if there was a time to be here, it was like 10 or 15 years ago, not right now. It's overcrowded. We have a fascist governor. Um, I mean, like fundamental rights and basic freedoms are under assault here in a major way. Um, it's kind of scary, really. And I'm not saying that was a joke earlier about don't come here because it is paradise. Like geographically, Florida is incredible, right? Like it's just an amazing place to live. The weather's awesome. I have the windows open right now. It's like the high's like 82 degrees, I think, today. And it's it's really really nice outside, and um, the beach is right there, and we have lakes and rivers and everything. I mean, listen, I love Florida. I live here for a reason. I'm gonna take the train, the Brightline train, down to Miami next week with my buddy Jeff Ryder, which reminds me I need to text some friends down there. And we're going to go see the my beloved Cincinnati Reds play the Miami Marlins down south. So that'll be fun. So anyway, point being, Florida's a great place to live, um, but traffic's a motherfucker. So I had to, in that equation, I ended up skipping Ross's show, which sucks because I was really excited to see it. And Ross is going to come on the Marinade sometime soon. And I wanted to go and like, get to experience his live show and get a chance to like kind of see him in his element and not just as a performer and not just as a person, which is the kind of where I've gotten to know him. We're messing with the camera here, guys. I'm going to try this. See if that's any better. I don't know if that's any better, but I think about creative capital, right? So if I'd gone to all three of those, I would be drained today. Even after the Magic game, I woke up yesterday and again, not drinking, eating really well, exercising every day, getting a good night's sleep, and I woke up exhausted because I'd gotten up early, put in a full day, gone to the game. There's the excitement of the game, and um, I had worked on creative work all the way up until time to go to the game, which was, Jen and I, like I said, didn't pregame, so we left here at like 6:30. Game started at 7:30. I live about 10 minutes away from the arena, if that. 10 minutes is probably, yeah, it's about 10 minutes with traffic. Um, and we got there early, so pretty long time in the arena, and the Magic won. So it was a very emotional, in a positive way, experience. But then when I got home, I was tired. So I mean, I was wired. Sorry, physically tired, but mentally and emotionally wired. So I ended up staying up later than I expected. And so the next day, I had to apply for jobs. But I had all this creative stuff I wanted to do. So I kind of had to dig deep and then decide, where do I want to put that capital? My guitar's on the wall behind us. I haven't picked it up in like 3 days and maybe 4 days. And that's frustrating to me because I've been kind of on a roll when it comes to playing and writing songs. But in the course of a day, both time wise and creative capital wise, how much do you have in you? So I've written and published 2 essays on the Patreon this week, which has been fulfilling and an experience that I'm grateful for. But those take quite a bit of time, right? Both the formulation of the idea, the planning, the writing, the editing, the publishing, going back and re-editing, right? Because I feel like every time I publish something, since it's all DIY, there's always something you miss, right? If you don't get a second set of eyes on it. So that process takes quite a bit of time and creative energy. So then something has to give, and it's either going to be one of my 2 podcasts right now. So I either have to let go of something from Life's Greatest Hits or let go of something from the Marinade, or leave the guitar on the wall. And I've been leaving the guitar on the wall, which, as I'm talking through this, I think is, maybe I wouldn't call it a mistake, but something I need to rectify. I think today I'm going to prioritize this afternoon, running through like a short set of songs, because I haven't performed either in like a month, and I'm overdue. So I need to schedule for myself an open mic next week, so that part of the creative process doesn't fall by the wayside. Because I miss it, and I thought about that last night, and I was at Tuffy's here in the Orlando area in Sanford. Folks, if you ever see a show that, let's say you're thinking about coming to Orlando, bringing the family to Disney, whatever it might be, check the schedule at Tuffy's Music Box. It's pretty far from the parks, but 2 things. One is, it's a great room. This free pub. I'm not sponsored by them or anything yet. I should reach out to them. It's pretty far from the parks, but one, it's a great room. They take music very seriously. They take care of their artists. Artists always really enjoy playing there. And also Sanford. The second thing is, Sanford is a pretty cool slice of like real Florida, so to speak. When you come to Orlando, a lot of times folks don't actually come to Orlando. They end up out at the parks, which is great. I mean, go to the parks, of course. They're awesome. They're fun. But if you want to see like local culture, Sanford's a pretty small town, but quirky little spots. There's an authentic German restaurant there. There's a really cool little bookstore. There's a tap room that has a really cool open mic there that I play sometimes and plan on playing next week. And then there's Tuffy's, which I, again, can't recommend enough. So last night, my dear friend Jordan Foley opened for Tommy Pride. And I didn't know what to expect, because I've listened to Tommy's debut record, which is really cool. Trying to think how to explain, though. It wasn't what I expected, and I guess what I probably did, which isn't fair to him, is project like his famous father's style onto what I expected from him. And last night felt a little bit more like that. He's witty, he's got that kind of all shucks sort of demeanor about him, although he's real cool. His songs are really good. really great stage presence, not a powerful stage presence the way that, say, Jordan, who opened, has. Jordan has like Jordan's a large personality, right? He's kind of has this infectious personality. And Tommy's more subdued. It was a cool contrast, actually. All originals, both of them. Great, great, great set from both guys. And room wasn't full, unfortunately, but the crowd was really into it. And it just fired me up as I was watching. I was like, gosh, I haven't been on stage in a while. And then it made me realize I also haven't picked up my damn guitar. I've been very busy with creative work. It's not like I haven't been doing creative stuff, but again, creative capital. How much energy do you have at the end of the day? I worked on that essay, another essay yesterday, and then I worked on the Marinade kind of promotional stuff. Plus, I've been kind of trying to figure out this video situation and take some steps in that direction, because that's something that I want to do both with the Marinade and with Life's Greatest Hits, is get more into video. But that's a whole nother world, right? That takes up quite a bit of time. And there's a creative aspect to it. There's a technical aspect, but there's also the creative aspect. For example, as I mentioned earlier, if you were tuned in, I got to work on this background here, right? So there's an aesthetic that you need to think about when you're talking about video. There's the technical aspect of it, which is another part of this new camera that I need to figure out. Like, this is a wider angle than I really want. I'm sure there's a way to adjust that. I just haven't messed with it, which is why I'm having this going live to kind of check things out. Part of why I'm going live, to check things out and figure out these specifications. But I think today, as far as creative capital goes, I am, after this, gonna sit and journal a little bit to kind of just get my thoughts out and organize my thoughts so that I can go into the rest of the day and be as productive as possible. At 5 o'clock my time, I'm recording with Pearl Rachinsky, the great visual artist. And then after that, I'm pretty free for the weekend, except between now and then, I've got to, I don't have to, I want to, and I'm going to edit the Steve Poltz episode that I recorded at Spirit of the Swanee Music Park last month. And then hopefully between now and then, record the intro and outro to that, so I have it totally edited, and then I can set it for release on Monday. That way, the rest of the weekend, I'm not thinking about the podcast at all, and I'm just picking up the guitar, just sort of almost scheduling out that creative capital. Because if I don't, then that ends up going by the wayside. And I don't know if you play. I'm interested to hear this. If you do play anything, for me, it's not like riding a bike. I mean, it is in the sense that I can pick it up and play the same chords that I've always known, or I've known for the last however many years. But it's just, if I'm not practicing, I lose it like that. And if I am practicing it, not just playing, but also singing, and then singing and playing together, the practice is really important to me. And right now I'm kind of somewhat out of practice. I think I picked it up on Sunday and played a few songs, and then haven't touched it since. So that's my commitment this weekend, is to pick up my guitar and just kind of let go of the podcast. I'll post on socials. I'll probably do one of these each day because I'm having fun with this, but not like worry too much about promotion, not worry too much about editing, because I have a whole lot of stuff coming up next week. I don't have my calendar here with me, but I've got Matt Anderson. I've got Caitlin Cannon, whose forthcoming record, both of their forthcoming records are outstanding, y'all. Matt Anderson, if you don't know, that's SEN, Canadian singer. I mean, what a voice. Just so emotive. Gorgeous, gorgeous songs. New record is wonderful. And Caitlin Cannon's new record, Love Addict, is so good. It comes out with this like punch in the face song. It's like female empowerment song that's so fucking good. And yeah, so we got a lot. Oh, and I got Scott Shepard from oh, Jesus Christ. just drew a blank on a legendary band, Little Feat. Forgotten Little Feat. So that's pretty exciting. I got him on Monday. Classic rock legends. So really cool stuff coming up, but a busy week. Plus, I'm going to Miami to see the Reds. So really need to be regimented about things and scheduling out the creative capital so that I don't burn out on just doing one thing or pouring myself in. Because one of the things that I tend to fall into, and some of y'all can probably relate, is my ex used to say I'm an all or nothing person, and I always hated that. But she was unfortunately right. Like if I'm all in, if you got me, you've got me, and you've got 100% of me. If you don't have me, you don't have me, and that's not a personal thing. It's just how I am wired, and I'm working on that. I'm working on more moderation with things. Like it's okay to write the one essay and then go relax. I've been trying to go relax. Yesterday I went to the pool. I had my book. I'm reading my Jason Molina book. I went to the pool and I spent 15 minutes just doing nothing. It was beautiful. So I'm working on those kind of moments where I just let go and don't feel like I have to do something every single second of every single day, especially when I have all this time on my hands. So that's the plan today. I'm going to go do some laundry and read. I've been trying to read at least 30 minutes a day, which has been like 3 hours a day is how it's actually played out. And then I'm going to finish the Steve Poltz episode when I get back from laundry, prepare for my Pearl Rachinsky conversation, and pick up my guitar for at least 30 minutes. So there's where my creative capital is scheduled out today. And if I don't do it that way, I might just end up getting lost in the podcast. I also, this is more of an announcement than anything else. Jordan Foley and I have, and I don't know if this has been announced anywhere else, but we're taking a different turn with our podcast, Life's Greatest Hits. We listened to Jason Isbell's Foxes in the Snow for the last episode together, and then we talked about it right after we listened to it. And the response has been outstanding. People really connected with that. So we're going forward, for the most part, not every single episode, but most episodes of Life's Greatest Hits are going to look like that. We're going to get together here at my condo. We're going to put a record on, hang out together, listen to the record, and then get on mic and talk about it afterward. So thank you to everybody who gave us feedback on that, because it seems like people really connected. The response on socials, the numbers, it's all been really positive. So we're excited about it because that was a lot of fun for us. And, we enjoyed the other format too, but the way we did it with Foxes in the Snow was super fun for us to make. So that's on the way. We have a new, I'm not going to announce which record we're listening to yet, but we're going to record that this week, and that should be up very soon. And then we recorded something that's kind of a short bonus. Basically, it's a story that Jordan tells that's really fun. So I'm going to release that. I'm going to hopefully get that up on Monday. I'm going to get to work on it at some point. Here I talk about creative capital, and I didn't even schedule that into my day today. All right, so let me back off on that Monday promise, but I'm going to try to get to it today. There's not much editing. It's about 20 minutes, so shouldn't take me too much to get that done and up for y'all. All right, I'm going to go do some laundry, get about my day. Thanks for paying attention. If you're watching this in the future, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, go out and create something. Cheers, y'all.